Alrighty, so this is the aliens cake I'm making for Peter's 28th birthday. I've been taking pictures thus far, but you know what? I thought I'm going to just pull out the video camera and get it from this point. So these are some of the roots I've made with the fondant that's hardened up some. This is jelly I'm going to use for the filling on top. Use just a little bit of this for the slime, but everything else is homemade. All those fondant roots here that have hardened up that are going to go on it at the end. My hands are all dirty. Sorry, I've been working with this powdered sugar. I'm sorry, the cocoa powder and fondant. So working the color into it. So this is the icing I made. This is what I have left. I've made 3 of these so far, and one is going to be peeled open at the top. I'm going to have jelly in here. And so here's what I have so far. And this is kind of my nice sketch of what I'm doing. This is the grounds, which actually I made out of, this is like leftover cake pieces and some cocoa powder. And it's on actually 2 cake circles. And this is actually a Sandman toy, a Marvel toy base that I have hot glued to that. So I took pictures of that process, but not video. So, and then this is all buttercream except for the fondant at the top here. And then this is just the double layered egg-shaped Wilton cake pan cake. There we go. So actually should probably have turned my music off in the background so I could be heard more clearly. So anyway, I will record more when I get it done. Okay, so now I'm just trying to texturize the side using a napkin and then just rubbing it on the side just so it's not so smooth. So it also brushes out any imperfections, which I don't mind the vertical lines because I'm going to actually make like a reptile skin. So I just, right now, I'm about to start painting it with food coloring. So I have actually the Wilton moss green. Let's see if I can switch it to, there we go. So that's Wilton moss green. And what else do we have here? Wilton leaf green. And then I also have some of the Wilton black icing. It's leaking, so I have it in a bag, but it's just the regular Wilton. And this is the icing coloring. The icing color that Wilton makes. So I have that in the bowl. And then I just have a sponge, which I used earlier when I was coloring the beige mound before putting the cocoa powder on there. So I'm going to go ahead and keep texturizing this. It's hard to do with one hand, but I want to get at least some of what I'm doing on video. And I've already, after I frosted this, I put it in the freezer. And see, that's making like that nice bumpy texture. And that's exactly what I want because the eggs almost have a reptile appearance. And so it's a harder buttercream because I put it in the, see, there, that's exactly what I want. I put it in the freezer to harden it up a little bit. And that's perfect. It's pulling just the right amount. I'm going to get another one though, because I'm actually going to make lines in it as well. Try to hard to do with one hand here. Okay. Okay, that's great. Okay, so I guess once that starts getting back up frozen more, or There we go. That'll give them more of a goopy appearance before I use the icing color on it. Yeah, there we go. And you can see the difference in the ones that are in here. There we go. These are just like a flat surface that I iced. And that's the other two that are in there. Alright, so we're going to return to this and I'll record again in a minute. It's going to try to make some reptile lines along the top. Okay, so actually, which one looks better? Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so I'm actually going to experiment with putting a little bit of cocoa powder on it. Okay, that definitely looks like too much. So I'm just trying to darken up the surface a little bit. It looks like that's making an odd... So I'm just experimenting a little bit. So that's the green. There's the moss green. A little bit of black. So I just kind of wanted that on the surface, but you know what? It seems like it's gonna... Maybe if I go like this. And then use the napkin again. Try to get some of the darker color at the top. The sponge is not working the way that I thought it would, but you know what? That's how we're gonna do it. I'm just gonna set that there and use 2 hands. That would be... Put that in. And that's gonna have to be good, so. So I'm gonna have to think of a new way to get that on there. Sponges have been work. I guess it does, but it's gonna need to harden back up a little bit actually. Okay, so now figure out what I'm doing. I'm just gonna go ahead and use the food coloring and just pat it against the top. And this is like the moss green and the leaf green and a little bit of black. See, mixed in. It kind of all looks black in the bowl, but just pat it on, and then I'll use the paper towel method of smoothing the sides to texturize it, and that'll kind of also blend this in, which is also green. So I'm going to do this all over the side and then texturize it. I guess at some point I should grab some more of this stuff. Whoops. It's in my hand. Lighter toward the bottom. Seems like, and then I'm gonna get even like a little cocoa powder on there too to, I don't know, make it look kind of dirty toward the bottom because it's sitting in like the dirt area. So the sides still. I think this is like making it the dark color that I want. There's a little bit of fondant on X looking like it could hatch at any moment. Okay, this is starting to warm up a little bit, so I'm gonna do it while it's still frozen. Get the paper towel on there and darken it up a little bit. So let's see how this does. Oh my god, that is so cool. It's exactly what I wanted. Because it like picks some of the black up. You know what? I don't even think I'm gonna have to make the reptile lines. It almost makes it like that. Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna finish doing this, and I'll be back. Okay, so I went ahead and texturized. This is the second one I've texturized. Taking a little bit of the color off, but that is the color, and then I just used the napkin to kind of blot it and make the reptile like skin. Okay, so this one's done. Okay, so you can see I iced the whole side, or the whole sides, and went ahead and put red icing, just a small amount of red icing that I made on the inside of the downturned fondant. So now I'm just putting in some jelly to make it look like this goopy substance. I also mixed the red with a little bit of dark green food coloring. So I'm just putting some jelly straight out of the jar into the top of this, so it makes it look goopy and gross in there. And then I'm going to use some green gel and I put a crack on the side. I'm going to fill that in with that, and then as you can see, this is pretty much almost done. Looks gross, doesn't it? It's perfect. So once this is done, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the freezer for a little bit and let it harden up, including the jelly, which it's edible, the entire thing, even the cocoa powder and the cake that's on here, but you know, you're not really going to eat the platter. And the jelly is edible, but again, probably not going to be served as part of the cake, but you know, it's a neat touch. So okay, I'm going to put some green icing on now of the gel, and then we'll do the roots too. Alright, so now I have, let's see, I have one cake there on the platter, and let's see, the lighting is so bad, I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and turn the radio off as well. Okay, so I placed one of the cakes on the platter, and I'm going to go ahead and start getting the other ones on there as well. So that looks pretty cool. Turn the light up. Then I'm going to get the roots on there, which are here. And I just transferred it. I left it on the wax paper from the plate that I had it on and transferred it, and then I used a razor blade and just cut around the edges, as you can see. So there's still a little bit of wax paper under there, but that's totally okay. Okay, so I'm going to get the next cake and put it on. Alright, so now as you can see, I placed the second cake on, and I still have the what's going on? There, that's the problem. So I still have the wax paper there, and I'm going to cut that off with a razor blade, and then put the third one on, which is going to be higher up in the back. Okay, I'm so excited. So I have them all placed, and I'm really, really pleased with how it's turning out. Let's see how the lighting looks. So I have the one slightly elevated. That's, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to arrange the facehuggers yet. looking so neat. I'm so proud of myself. Okay. Okay, so now I'm trying to be quiet because it's late. I'm just basically placing the roots where I want them. And that's it. There's no really scientific method to it. I made them earlier, so it's nice and easy to get them on there. Oh, that was a neat looking one. Slide it in. Tuck in the end pieces. And then after I get all the roots where I want them, I'm going to, my hands are stained, I'm going to take the sponge brush and just kind of sponge it on there, and then I'm going to put some more cocoa powder dirt on and cover up all the powdered sugar that's still on them and any white areas of cake platter left, all of that. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so now I have sprayed the facehuggers with some Pam to give them like a gross look, and then rubbed in some of the green gel icing and put a little red icing here to make it look slimy. And actually, so I'm going to do the same thing here. Just kind of do it with one hand, it makes it hard. Okay. Okay, so here is the finished product. I'm sure I'll make a few tweaks once I refrigerate it a little bit, let the icing harden up and fix the outside of it, but all in all, I am pleased with how it turned out. And I'm sure I'll videotape more later. Whoops. Okay, and here is the finished product. Made a little flag with his initials and age. Burn it a little bit. Looks kind of neat. And the facehuggers, and the roots, and the gooey ground. Jelly. So I'll try to get it tomorrow in the daylight